Hello everyone, this is Horizons here on this Friday night here in May. This is something I've never done on this channel before, but I figured I would show you it. This is going to be my somewhat complete vinyl collection. Now, if you're wondering why semi-complete, well, here's a few caveats. One, I'm only going to be counting the releases I've gotten over the years, so we're starting no later than 2018. Now, be it this won't mean every album from no albums from before that will be counted. It will mainly just be reissues, or depending on what it is. I'll describe what it is, whether or not it's the first pressing or a reissue, and whether or not it was either on black vinyl or a special edition vinyl copy, which I only have one of as of right now. Let's immediately start with the first vinyl release I got when I turned 17 back in 2018. We have Trench. This is 21 Pilots' first album after Face, and third album on the Feel by Ramen label after Vessel and Face, and the fifth album overall after the self-titled Regional Best and the aforementioned ones I just mentioned. I bought immediately when the song begins. Jumpsuit is a very great start. I think it is a pretty good song. This is on 2 LPs, so halfway through the thing it splits up, but it's a very good transition. I figured I would show you the gatefold on this, and boy, does it look pretty good. I'm trying to get it all in the image so I can see it through, but honestly, this album just kicks ass. So we're going to put that over to the side and immediately move the camera somewhat over here to show you my next purchase. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Actually, out of all of these, I think I got this first before I got Trench, but same ordeal. This is a reissue. This is not a first UK pressing or a first US pressing, and I'll get into what's the difference in just a second. But this is the anniversary edition that was released in 2017 to celebrate the album's 50th anniversary. Yeah, right there, anniversary edition. So this also comes with a pamphlet, and the album's also pressed onto 180 gram vinyl. Big one now. It is a very great album. I honestly think it is pretty great. Now mainly on to the last album I got in 2018, we have Tears for Fears' Rule of the World compilation. This includes mainly the songs between 1983 and 2000. Albeit it has a few of those songs after that, two new songs that appear exclusively on this album, which is pretty good. And they just recently released a new album, which I may get someday. But this is pretty much the only Tears for Fears album I have. Really good band from the 80s. So we immediately begin with side A with Everybody Lose the World Shout, and the song that's exclusive to this, I Love You But I'm Lost, and ends up with the version of Bad World, which, before you say anything, Gilly Jules did the cover of this. Kurt Smith actually wrote this song, so before you say anything, Matt Road actually debuted with Tears for Fears' album The Hurting in 1983. Then side B begins with the 1989 hit Sowing the Seeds of Love, Advice for the Young of Your Art. Then the last single from songs from the Big Chair, Head Over Heels, Woman in Chains, Change State, Pale Shoulder, and Mother's Talk. Side B has I Break It Down Again, I believe, Rule in the Canes of Spain, and The Closest Thing to Heaven ends off the album. This is through Virgin EMI Records, if you're wondering, and not Mercury, the main label of choice. So, once again, pressed on 180 gram vinyl. There is a gatefold version of this. Very cool working gatefold, pictures of the band, and copyright notes, so nothing very eagle-eyed. Unfortunately, most of my vinyl I have has gotten seen away over time, so not much to say about this album. Just a compilation album of some sorts, not really that all ordinary. Next up, I have Talking Heads' debut and self-titled album from 1977. I have somewhat of a big Talking Heads collection. I have this album, and in storage I have Speak It in Tons, the first pressing. This is I think a reissue from around the mid-80s. It's not a first pressing by any means. I'll get into why in just a second. But from the looks of it, from what you can tell, it looks like a first pressing. And in fact, it is in the same cover as the first pressing. But I think this one here, this thing, if it can focus, has a different product number than the first pressing. So not much to say. I'm not going to be taking out the records for most of these because they have industries, but there's an easy way to tell there's no copyright on that, so it's not a first pressing by any means. But it is still a good pressing. Sounds very quiet, so that is a very good pressing. Another compilation album I have, where I've rarely played, is Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. This, I think, came out in the early 80s, because this has a UPC on it. Oh, almost hit the camera there. Not much to say about this, so we're going to immediately move on, because I haven't played this a lot. Next up is pretty much my Human League collection. I have the mini EP, or LP, whatever you like to call it, Fascination. This is a US pressing on A&M Records. There is a UK press out there that's on the Virgin label, but this is a US pressing. It's very has Keep Feeling Fascination extended version and the song Once Again. The extended version by far I think is the much better version, although I haven't noticed a difference between this and the single edition, so not much to say there. Another one I have by the band is Dare from 1981, I believe. Mainly that because it also has a UPC. Doesn't say anything about it, just says it's under license from Virgin Records. So once again, not much to say about this one, so let's move on from there. Next up I have Queen's Jazz from 1978. This is a US first pressing on the Electrica Records label. Easiest way to tell, Electrica label. The gatefold is left intact on here. Very cool pressing. Not going to explain more of it. It does come with the controversial poster. I'm going to just leave it as that. So let's maybe move on to my other Beatles collection I have. This is Let It Be. This is a reissue from the mid-80s. It's on the Capitol Records label, and we all know pretty much US pressings, say, before 88, sound like utter shit. I won't get into why, but say for certain, yeah, pressing just doesn't sound right. So if you're really in the mood to collect Beatles records, the original copies, get the UK editions, because they sound better and they are part of the quarter catalog, unlike the compilation albums they did pretty much over here in the States. I now also have a solo John Lennon album. This is a better compilation album. This is for Geffen Records. Not much to say on here. Has all his solo efforts. And if I could show this on the camera here, we have Give Peace a Chance, It's a Coma, Power to the People, Whatever Gets You for the Night with Elton John, Number 19, Mountain Games, Love, Imagine, his probably more famous solo effort, Jealous Sky, It's Just Like Starting Over, Woman, I'm Losing You, Beautiful Boy, Dear Yoko, and Watching the Wheels. Okay. Next up, I have the Police's Ghost in the Machine from 1981. This is the second to last album. It has The Invisible Sun on it. This is also for this is also for A&M Records. Almost said EMI. There's the track listing. Once again, I'm not going to be pulling most of these out because they're virtually just too much to handle. Next up, someone I actually got for my 18th birthday. This is Pink Floyd's The Wall. This is a reissue from 2017 or before then, because this is on 180 gram vinyl. And you could easily tell this is a reissue. Now, a lot of people are skeptical about this release, saying it just doesn't sound like how it should have been, but it sounds alright. This is not for Columbia Records, and instead it's for Pink Floyd's in-house record division. So, no Harvest labels, no Columbia labels to speak of on this copy. So, we're gonna immediately skip that. Cool gatefold. I'm not gonna be showing the gatefold because a lot of people have shown that. And now we have one more compilation album, U2's The Best of 1980 to 1990. This unfortunately is a reissue where the gold texture on this is prone to wing wear. I don't know how they do it, but these textures are just pulling the wing wheel real bad. If you look, there's the bottom, there's the wing wheel, there's wing wheel all over the thing, and when you touch the this cover, it leaves a texture and smell on you, and you have to wash your hands. So this just doesn't have has a weird texture on it that messes with the thing. If you're wondering, here's the gatefold in question. Not much to say here, so we're gonna immediately move on, and we're gonna do a random jump cut so I can put these records away and show you the new ones. So we now go into 2020 to 2022. Not much of a bigger purchase this time around, but much more daily occurrence per se. Next up, I have Clearance's Clearwater Rivals Chronicle from 1975 or so. This is a reissue through the Fantasy label. It's always been a Fantasy. But the main difference is this also comes with a poster that was a in-store exclusive. I think through Target of all things. So not much to say here. Really cool album. Hey, this is what you call a greatest hits album. I don't have any nitpicks with any of them. I think all the songs are pretty good. Next up, the Beatles' Abbey Road. This is the 50th anniversary reissue from 2019. This album originally came out in 1969. However, one thing you want to look out for is if you're trying to get a good copy, always make sure you get a UK copy. This is a US pressing, I believe. Really thin jacket, but the songs, they sound pretty good, so that's why I have it. And it's also a very perfect copy compared to all the other copies I see in stores. Next up is a very good exclusive. This is Imagine Dragons Evolve from 2017. Surprisingly, my only Imagine Dragons album I have. I'm very big into the band, but this is the only album I have. This has, I don't know why, whatever it takes, Believer, Waking Up the Wire, Rise Up, I'll Make It Up to You, Yesterday, Mouth, Thunder, Starting Over, and Dancing in the Dark. Thunder is a very good song, Whatever It Takes is good, Believer, probably the most famous song out of all of these here. Next up is something I actually thought I would never get, but I have. MGMT's Little Dark Age from 2018. Yes, bring on the memes. I've actually left some of the stickers on here. As you can see, this has the parental advisory sticker, basically telling parents, no, this album is very inappropriate. But it's not that actually inappropriate in terms of like how a lot of people think it is. But this is a very cool album. This has Little Dark Age, of course. It also has When You Die, Me and Michael, TSLM, and P, whatever the hell that stands for. And ends off with Handed Over. Double album once again. I'll show you the gatefold on this. Very great for gatefold, I gotta admit. And what they even did was, I'll actually show the record in this case. They went and used the original Columbia labels that were back in the 60s. This was the 6i label, if you're wondering. So, but it's not much of a difference. 108 gram vinyl. The vinyl mix of this album is fantastic. I played it on even on my El Cheapo turntable, and it still sounds pretty damn good. No, can't go wrong with that. Next up, I have Changes One Bowie from 1976. Although this is a more or less a circa 2014 reissue through Parlophone and not RCA. But it has Space Oddity, Changes, Ziggy Stardust, Suffrage City, Gene Jenny, Diamond Dogs, Rebel Rebel, Young Americans, Fame, and Golden Years. There's a UPC, so there's an easiest way to tell that this is a pressing, also pressed in Germany. So that is great. Now I have the next LP in the collection, and beginning with 21 Pilots, might as well finish off with the most recent album, Scaled and Icy. Yeah, this originally came out in May of 2021, but because COVID and all that, they couldn't get the album out on LP right away, so we had to wait until the tail end of 2021 to get it. Very great album. I can't go away with this one. Shy Away, that's a good one. Outside, that's a good one. I need to listen to the album all the way through. Not only that, this comes with a special gatefold, if you're wondering. It works pretty great. And I recently just heard that 21 Pilots will now be on MTV Unplugged in June, which I plan to watch. Now, there's something I have left over from this that actually I've acquired over the years, so let's show that. Sadly, though, this is my only 45 I've collected. I have other 45s, but this is pretty much what I have left. And She Was by Talking Heads from the Little Creatures album from 1985. This is basically the only the song. It has the single edit and the ET mix, which I guess means extended time. Of course, doesn't mean extraterrestrial. Anyways, here's the record. This is a US passing through Sire Records. Easiest way to tell if you have a US or UK pressing is to look at the labels and see whether or not it says EMI or Sire. If it says Sire, it is from the United States. If it's from the UK and has the EMI logo, then it is the UK editions. This is something I just really wanted to do, something I wanted to really show you guys. Just show you pretty much how this channel has pretty much grown. Anyways, that is it for now. Hope to see you guys later. I will be coming out with more videos in the week if I feel like it. And until then, take care.